What's going on, everybody? I know I'm a little bit late, so we're going to combine days 2 and 3 of the Riftbound reveals that we've had for Vendetta. We're going to start with like each of the domains, going through Body, Calm, Chaos, Fury, Mind, Order, and check out the legends, check out the special alts they've showcased, and the tokens and battlefields that they've shown. And then for tomorrow, we'll be a bit caught up as we'll have what was shown for day 4, and then at the end of the day is day 5. So hopefully we'll be all good. Let's jump into this with Body. We can look at the Body cards. We have Dame the Despoiler. Says empowered 5 in a power. When I attack or deal or defend, choose a unit here, increase my might to its might this turn, then give me +1 might this turn. So if it's you just kind of like being petty and just going +1. If it's a 10, you're like, haha, I'm 11. But it's kind of interesting that it has this empowered ability. Like for a 5/5, if you're playing in something like Volibear who gets the ramp off of it, it seems all right. But if you're using, there's a card in here where you can search for a card that costs so much and then pay like 5 less for it. So this would be coming in free, and then it would empower that card as well. We'll come across it here in a minute. So that's Dame the Despoiler. Then we have Jagged Cutlass. It says I can't be moved by enemy spells and abilities when it's equipped. So it's kind of like a anti-charm. But yeah, this one seems pretty cool. +2, can't be moved by enemy spells and abilities. Anti-charm is always a pain when you're going against green cards and they charm you into a battlefield, especially with the PGE that comes in trying to get you like, nah, I'm not doing that. Next, we have Wild Claw. This is the one I was talking about. Look at the top 5 cards of your main deck. You may banish a unit or gear from among them and play it, reducing its energy cost by 5. Recycle the rest. Then you may do this and power it. It becomes empowered if it's not already. So that one card that we had earlier on Dame will become empowered from that search. But is it really worth it? Like, if it's something smaller than you, then you're not really getting the benefit. You're not increasing your might to its might. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to get, if it's a 3, you're not going to get +3. So is it worth the empowerment? And I'm kind of curious to see if you did attack with that equipped and you did not increase his might, would the empowerment run off? That's it for our body cards. Next, we'll jump into our calm cards. So first, we have the green Nasus. We actually see the whole card here. When I conquer, you score a point. Everybody's not really excited about that. Empower. I believe there's some cards that are going to kind of help that negate how much that cost. But if you're using green orange, you can do the search and it'll cost 5 less. So he'll be like 3, but still, that's not really like a big thing. So people are kind of wondering about it, but hopefully it'll work itself out in some future cards that will be shown here. And this is his alt art, which looks pretty cool. I dig it. It probably looks amazing on the foil and stuff. We have Green Shin. When I hold, if there's exactly one other unit here you control here, draw 1. Shin is wanting to be that one other unit person for some reason. There's a 5 and 1 power. Old Pearl. Old Pearl is pretty interesting because it's a pretty powerful 2-drop. Because it's a 2/4, you can't play it on your first, second, or third turns. So I'm kind of interested in seeing what decks this would actually be in. I can see it in like PGE or even XPE as it would become a 2/6 or a 2/5 when you hit the XP level. It would just be sitting in your hand for a while. I guess it could be also a good pitch fodder, but it's pretty interesting. Here's the alt for Green Shin. It's pretty cool. We also have Tomb Raider Barbara. When you play me, if you control 7 or more runes, choose an enemy gear. If it's empowered, disempower it. Otherwise, kill it. So this is a card that's like the 7 or more runes we'll see a lot with Nasus. His cards are always, a lot of his stuff is about 7 or more, 7 runes. It's kind of interesting. We'll see that as we go along in the reveals, but this one, nice gear hate type of card, especially with empowered and disempowering gear, which I haven't seen a lot of empowered gear yet, but I think it'll be pretty powerful in this upcoming set if people are playing these legends with these cards. Jumping on to the Chaos cards, we have the Kinko Lifeblade. We know Kinko monks are known so far for being in the orange in the body set. So I guess there's probably going to be a nice orange-purple Kinko coming, Ionia card coming here in the future. I don't know who that would be. I'm not very familiar with a lot of the lore of League characters. But this one is empowered 2. Empowered, I have +1 might and ganking. I can move from battlefield to battlefield. So it becomes a 4/5 and it can gank. I guess it's kind of cool. It depends on like battlefields and other things you use that might increases might when it moves. If you play it in Kennen, you'll be able to give him another 2 if he's empowered and you disempower Kennen, you can give Assault 2. So you can come in as a 4/7, which is pretty solid. Here we have Ravenbloom Prefect. When an opponent plays a gear, you may banish me to banish it. Do you have a permit for that? It's a hilarious tagline. This is a good card because people are playing cards a lot earlier. It's a body, so you can also just have it on the field. If you're playing against like your purple-orange Aurora decks, you just already have it on the field getting points. And then when it drops down Aurora, you're like, well, I'll just banish this card. And that way it's pretty good that you can stop that. I don't know if it will be good in against the other Aurora matchups. You know, Orange does have, like you're playing against Volibear or even probably the upcoming Blue-Orange. We're going to see a lot more spells that can attack the back line if you're trying to protect her or putting more bodies on the field. There's also a challenge. So it'll be kind of interesting to see if she'll be able to last against other decks. So they might just be a card that sits in the sideline for people that are playing like Sivir or Misfortune still, those purple orange decks that have Aurora in it, because I think a lot of the other decks are running units, they are running kill spells. You have the one card, Falling Star. It's 3 damage, so you just boop, pinged it. So we'll have to see how this works out in the long run, but it's definitely better, I think, than some of the other gear hate that's in the game, just because of that body that can score on board. And then we have Zed without a sound, his alt art and regular art. Zed's cards are pretty interesting because the way they're designed, they kind of look like, I guess, like an ink blob thing. Like I see different images. Like this one I thought was like a hand. There's one who looks like kind of like a raven. So it's pretty cool how he's set up. And like his regular cards, we'll see in Fury if I have it in this one, is so cool. When I conquer, play a 0 Shadow Clone unit token to your base. When I attack, you may banish a unit from your trash. If you do, give me Assault 4 this turn. Action 1 and a Chaos Power, move me and a Shadow Clone you control to each other's location. So this is going to be kind of interesting because you can use your Shadow Clone as just a dummy for it to get killed instead of getting attacked. And if you're going in for the attack, maybe they do a buff. You can still do the same thing. I'm going into attack. Oh, they buffed their unit. All right, fine. I'll swap with my shadow unit. I'll banish a unit. Or if they do something like, oh, I guess you wouldn't be able to do that to Starcross because of the reaction speed. So that would just get Starcrossed. But in an attack, if somebody's buffing something into something you can't beat, you'll be able to do that swap just to get the clone killed. So that's all for our Chaos card. Next, we're jumping into the Fury. Fury is a lot of cards in here. A lot of people are really excited for the Akali set. We've seen a lot of her cards already, a lot of arts and things of that nature. We haven't seen her green one yet. We've seen already, shown it already. But the red one is good as well, especially when you think about Akali's actual legend ability of being able to move people in and out. So this one is like, when I move, you may deal 1 to a unit at a battlefield I move to or from. If I'm empowered, deal 2 instead. And while you're empowered, you have 4 might, it becomes a 3/4. So you can move her in, do 2 damage, and then her other ability from the legend can move her out. She does 2 more damage. The next card is Punching Pearl. Punching Pearl is interesting. Discard 1, pay the cost, empower me. When it's empowered, it has +1 might. So it just becomes a 2/3. There's just other cards, I think, that are 2/3s that might just fit better in there. Like if you're going to attack, they'll get assault. If they're defending, they'll have shield plus tank. So I don't know about this one. I think I'd rather play Deflect Pearl. We have the Blade Twirlo. Twirler. Twirler. This first time I move each turn, choose a player, they burn one. They put the top card of the main deck into the trash. This is a 4/4. 4/4s are solid. In any card game, a 4/4 is solid. So 4/4, no power. First time it moves its turn, choose a player, they burn one. This would be a good card if you want to move in and then just move back and just keep doing that move motion, moving around. And the Akali deck just to burn the top cards of players' decks. And it'd also be pretty good in Zed. I want to see more burn cards. This is a new mechanic they put in this set, and I kind of just want to see a deck built. Like, I hope it doesn't happen to me, but I want to see a deck built where we're just burning cards off the person's top. Next we have Perfect Execution. This is a spell, 3 and 1 power. Ready a unit and give it Assault 3 this turn. It has a flow, so you can now play it from your trash for 3 and a power as well, 3 and a red. This symbol, they've confirmed, is to state that these are cards that can be played from trash, not necessarily flow, but if it's a card that just could be played from trash, from a mechanic, and the mechanic in this case is flow, it'll have this button on here, this icon on here. I don't know how I feel about these assault spells. I don't really play like a lot of red rushing. Here's Akali's alt for the red. It looks pretty great. Definitely need it. Next we have Zed from the Shadows. This is Zed's normal red card, which is crazy. This is this epic card. You may discard 1 as an additional cost to play me. When you play me, if you pay the additional cost, play a 0 Shadow Clone unit token. It has, when I attack, you may banish a unit from your trash. If you do, give me Assault for this turn. This is a 4 and a power. The discard 1 is pretty interesting. I just get to play it. Discard 1. If you have the Jinx on board, the purple Jinx, you play Jinx, you discard 1, she readies. So it's like a lot of good combos and stuff you can do with that. And then depending on what card you have in your hand, you can still do Flame Chompers. You discard that, you can play that, and you play the Shadow Clone. So you can do like a lot of cool interactions with this so far. This is the alt art. This could be one of those things where I have to see him in person because I think the original one looks really cool. I think the alt art looks cool also. So we have to see. We have Renekton, Rage Fueled. It's a 6/6. Accelerate for 1 and red. When I attack, if you control 4 or fewer runes, deal 2 to all enemy units here. Renekton has a thing where he wants to have 4 or less runes. It's kind of funny that he's bodying Nasus on this card, but this is pretty cool. It's like an interesting version of an Anivia, where she does 3 damage to all units. This one is on the 4 rune side, it does 2 damage. So I guess if you have both, you can just do like 5 damage to all units, which would be insane. 6 damage to all units is one of the things you have to really be careful with your math when you're doing this too, because they'll still have the same might, but you may not need as much to kill everything. Like you might just need this 1/6 unit because they'll have less health. And that's just some of the things you have to really keep track of, because a couple times I've messed up and have gone in and done a attack that would do damage to everybody. Like the damage is just instant when you go into attack. And I didn't think of that I didn't need the math for that. So they can have 5 characters on board, 30 might total, and you just take out 10 might. And all of a sudden you just need like 2 people. Next we have his alt art. It's him in the lifeguard outfit. Pretty solid, pretty solid. Right, next we're in our mind card, starting with the Apprentice Mage, which is a 3/3. It has an empower of 2, use only if not empowered. When I become empowered, predict 2, look at the top 2 cards of your main deck, recycle any of them and put the rest back in your order. And they have +1. I want to say like the empowerment lasts just to the end of turn. Like a lot of these cards don't say end of turn. So I'm really curious about really how the empowered ability works. Do you just stay empowered the entire time until something takes off the empowerment? I hope we get that more clarification on just empowered in general, because you just pay 2, you play this down, next turn you play 2, it's a 3/4. You get to do your predict. You can buff it if you have Karma on the board, so it's now it's a 3/5, which is solid, and you can go ahead and attack. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see how that works. Predicting 2 is pretty solid though. Jace, Brilliant Inventor. When you play me or the first time you play a non-token gear each turn, you may ready something besides me that's exhausted. I wonder if you can ready things on your opponent's side. This is a good card. You can't ready him with it, but you can ready another gear. A lot of gears require to be rested for it to activate an ability. So you can play a gear, activate the ability. You play him or play another smaller gear, unrest the gear to activate another ability. Or use Heimerdinger a couple times. This is its alt art. Pretty cool. I will light our path. And we have the Cloud Drake. When you play me, draw 1. These things are a serious problem. They wanted to have puns on their card now all of a sudden. Hextech formula. This is what I'm saying. This enters exhausted. Empower another gear. It becomes empowered if it's not already. Such an innocuous thing. It says in the flavor text, if you can play this and then you can ready it with on the turn it's played if you have the Jace on the board already. So it enters exhausted, but if you play another gear, ready something. So you can ready it and then you can use it to empower something else on the same turn. Pretty good stuff. Next we have Mesmerize, a reaction. This one is kind of weird. It's 1 in the power, and it has a choose ability given an enemy unit -2 this turn, or return a friendly unit to its owner's hand. It's a reaction, but there's a couple of things that like retreat is a 1, and you get a channel a rune and return a friendly unit to your hand. And then you can just play like smoke screen, which is like a 1 or a 2 in the power, and give it -4. I don't know about this one, Chief. It doesn't seem that great. Then we have the questionable tome. Empower, you tap it. To disempower it, you pay 1, tap it again, and draw 1. So this is another one of those things where you can empower with the Hextech thing we showed earlier, or ready it with Jace and do another draw off of it. So some combos you can make off happen with this if you're playing the deck. Last of the domains, we have order with the Key Barrier. Maybe you say Chi. This is 2 in a power. This is choose a unit, prevent the next 7 damage that will be dealt to it this turn. Opponents can assign it extra combat damage to kill it. You see, a lot of Shin's units are like tanks or shields or big bodies, so this will stop it from dying. You can assign extra combat damage to kill it. So normally if it's a tank and you go over, you have to put all your combat damage into the tank. Well, the tank has 14 health or just 3 health. You can go, all right, I'm going to do 15 to this or 11 to this because it's 7 damage it takes. So you need to go a little bit 1 over. So you go 11 damage to this one character and still kill it. Shady Spectacles. As this is attached to a unit, choose another friendly unit. The equipped unit becomes a copy of that unit for as long as this is attached to it. There's been some crazy ideas floating around already online with this one. This is a crazy card just in general, being able to turn to any friendly unit. There's some good units in yellow and in purple. So you can Shady Spectacles. Oh, I'm now another Karthus all of a sudden. Now I'm doing more. I have 3 Karthuses. Now I have a 4th one. If that was a thing. But that would be crazy. We have Yellow Mbessa, respected and feared. The power 1 and 2 order runes is crazy. Power that has assault 2, and also when I attack, kill an enemy unit here with less might than me. I guess I figured the 2 runes will make up for it being a 5/5, and the fact that it has just a when I attack, kill an enemy unit with less might than me. That's pretty insane. And it has assault 2, so it's really a 5/7 going in to attack and killing something with less might than her. If you really think about it, it's pretty insane. This is the regular art, and this is the alt art, which is also insane. It's pretty good and has the flavor text of join your ancestors. So I definitely want to see this one. Next we have Shin, leader of the Kinko order. Shield +1. When I hold, if there isn't exactly one other unit here you control, you score 1 point. This is a 6 and 2 power card, 7 might. So if you have this on the field and you have that 1 card that says take 7 less damage, it's going to have 15 when you go into attack because it has shield +1. Pretty solid. Shin might be that unit next turn, that green-yellow. We haven't seen a lot of green-yellows take top spot except for the Azir. We might have another one with Shin. This is the alt art. Pretty cool. Looking pretty fierce. And then this is just the double of Mbessa and Mbessa. Next, I want to take a quick look at the special alts they showed for the Crystal Rose alts. They just showed 2 of them so far. We know about the Ari one, but here they showed Sona Harmonious, and then they showed Set Brawler. And what it looks like is they're doing the same thing that they did with the Pearls, where each of the special alts are going to have or be one of the domains. So that means we have blue, green, and orange. We still need yellow, red, and purple for those. Next, we'll check out the legends. But who do you think the next 3 ones will be? I'm thinking Kaisa. I wanted to say like Miss Fortune, but it seems like they're using a lot of the epic cards. But let me know your thoughts, which one it will be there for yellow. If Seraphine was out, it would definitely probably be Seraphine, but she's not out yet. All right, so we have Matriarch of War, unless I say you can't use that card. Matriarch of War is the Mbessa legend. When you empower something else, empower me. If I become empowered, if I'm not already, disempower me, you get to ready a unit, which is for a power. Disempower me, pay a power, and rest me and ready a unit. Pretty good. They still have to show us more empower cards. There's not like a lot. Like we're seeing of cards you can empower. We're seeing some gear, but there's not like a lot of cards that they've shown so far for this to be like a really new mechanic that's really important for the game. Like everything else requires you to pay something to empower it, but there's a couple of sets like Kennen who don't really require you to have anything to empower. You just like do an action and it empowers them that they have. So they really need to, hopefully we'll see some more. Like we still have like almost 2 weeks left of this, so we should see some more cards pop off there. We have Dominus. This is a Renekton signature spell. This turn, double unit's might and give it pay 2 power, ready me. So I say Renekton is about keeping that low rune count, but when we see his legend, you'll see why that is, why it doesn't really matter. So you're kind of like doing a lot of rune management here with Renekton and playing some pretty solid units. It's going to be kind of interesting to see how people build this one out because there's different ways, different thoughts you can do it. I'm thinking like, in my mind, I'm like, you could do like a dragon deck with him and it'll probably be pretty cool. And you really wouldn't need to have any more than like 4 runes probably. And then if you play the 8-cost dragon, that costs, if you have 2 of the Herald of the Dragons out, you also put down the Dragon Soul Initiate who's giving you energy to spend. It will ready 2 runes when it's played, and every time you play a dragon, it readies 2 runes. So you could have those 4 runes ready to do other things with them. So I think that's pretty interesting. This is the art for Kennen, Heart of the Tempest. It's probably one of the better legend arts of this set. Pretty cool. When you play a card from anywhere other than your hand, empower me. So see what I'm saying? Like you play a card from anywhere and then you disempower, give a unit assault 2. This is Mel. People aren't really excited about Mel's legend. This is also similar to Mbessa when you empower something else, empower me, and then you disempower me and tap and you can give a unit at a battlefield -2 this turn. And it's not like an action speed, it's at slow speed. It's mostly you being on the attack and not the defensive. So people are really excited about this. I'm really curious to see what the art for this card look like, but this one is not one that's really grabbing people's attention. Butcher of the Sands. This is the art for Renekton, but it says reaction, pay 2 power, tap, and you'll add 2 energy. You can spend this energy only to play units or activated abilities of units. So you can't spend it on spells or anything like that, which is fairly fine. Or you can spend it on empower abilities too, activated abilities, which is okay. Playing units is really good. Units are good. We like units. Got to play more units. Nobody's complaining about the units. People are complaining about this alt art though. Before it was like a little layering issue and it had like 2 arms over here and his helmet was all crazy looking. But I think this is going to be another one of the ones where it's going to look crazy in person. A lot of these flat images they show us don't look that great. And then when we see the art with all of the foiling and texturing, it looks amazing. But this is his regular legend. Yeah, it doesn't, I guess because this one really pops with color and the other one seems a little washed out. Here's the Shuriken Flip. This is going to be the signature spell of Akali. Deal 2 to up to 1 enemy unit at a battlefield, then move a friendly unit. That's flow 3. So you can deal 2 to a unit at a battlefield, and then if Akali is at the battlefield, you can move her in and do 2 more, or move her back and do 2 more on the way out. Here's Zed. When you banish a card on your own, empower me. When you banish a card you own, empower me, and then disempower me, discard 1, draw 1. Draw mechanics are really powerful in this game. We all know how that is. Here's his alt art. The artist is Shin, so it'll be Zed signed by Shin. Pretty crazy. Death Mark is his signature spell. You burn 3 cards from the top of your deck into your trash, and then you play a 0 clone shadow unit token. And you can play this card from your trash. It's a 2-in-1 power. It can be defied or whatever, but then you can play it from your trash anyway. Like, you can't defy me. You can't defy me. The last thing here I want to talk about are the tokens and battlefields that we got to see. So here we have the Tentacle. They showed us this before they showed who the tentacle is for, but notice that we have a tentacle unit, token unit, builds water. We also have our shadow clones, looking pretty cool. This is the Sandswept Tome. Each spell that chooses 1 or more units here that are friendly to it costs a power less. Got the Risen Altar, and power cost of your units here costs 1 or a power less. So you would play this on like Mbessa. Instead of her costing 2 power, she would just cost the 1, which is kind of insane to be honest. But she would already be there. So, like I said, if you empower something and it just lasts for that turn, then that's not good. But if you empower it and it just lasts as long as it's empowered, then that's kind of good because it's going to be on that battlefield. So unless there's something that like empowering it helps it while it's on the battlefield for that turn, and at the same time is not well, I guess if you empower something, you can move her, you can empower her, then move her back, and then ready her with Mbessa's legend, restand her, go into the other battlefield and kill something. That's probably what you'll have to do. Yeah, that'll probably work. Then we have the Piltover Forge. While you control this battlefield, the first friendly gear activated ability played each turn costs 1 less. So instead of paying 1, you just don't pay it at all and get do the tap ability. Then this is one where you can actually ignore deflect for playing spells and abilities, choosing something here. So if you're playing units that don't have deflect, this will be great because we'll see a field with a bunch of deflect units come in and you're like, haha, you don't want to play that Vex there, do you? No, you don't. This was our empowered, used to mark legends units and gear that are empowered. And then these are the runes. I think these are ones that look kind of cool in person. Pretty sure this black is going to have some kind of shine to it. And then we got the other, of course the light's going to have a little shine to it. But it's going to be pretty cool. I think they're going to be pretty cool. They showed the video for it, showed them all the runes, and I thought they looked cool. It's kind of far away, so we couldn't really see them, but from the glance we saw, I thought they looked cool. And that is all of our information and stuff for the last 2 days. A lot of good cards dropped. Let me know what legend or card out of these that you saw that were exciting, if there's something you're looking forward to seeing in the future. I know people are not really talking about it, but I think we need to see a lot more gear, and I want to see more empower units. A lot of the units we've seen so far, we haven't seen a lot of them. There's a lot of orange units missing. There's a lot of green units missing. A lot of blue units missing. So a lot of stuff is missing so far from our cards. They're supposed to have like 166 regular cards, not including the overnumbers, which I believe pumps us into 190-ish cards in total. But yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Subscribe to it, like the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching this one.